I'm Ken, the founder of Reminisce Magazine. Today I'm delighted. Sorry, there's something wrong with the camera. Alright, okay. I'm Ken, the founder of Reminisce Magazine. Today I'm delighted to be talking to Annmarie. She resides in Conshohocken, Pennsylvania with her husband Joe Beck. She has more than 40 stories published in various anthologies, including Chicken Soup for the Soul, Patchwork Path, the HCI Ultimate Series, the Not Your Mother book series, and Reminisce Magazine. Her story really inspires me. She changed her management position to a secretary position in a medical billing company. Please welcome Annmarie. Hi Annmarie, how are you?
I'm fine, Ken. How are you?
Okay, what do you do now in a medical billing company?
I work for Reimbursement Technologies, and we are a medical billing company located in Conshohocken, PA, and we do emergency practice billing for emergency physicians in about 500 hospitals across the United States and Hawaii. And right now for this company, I am a department coordinator, which is like an administrative assistant, only I have a lot of experience in medical billing, so I can help in other ways. So my job is just a little bit different because I have a knowledge base for medical billing.
hmm So how long have you been working for the company as a head of the Northeast Region follow-up team?
I've been with the company for 17 years. The first 9 years I was in the follow-up team for the Northeast region of clients, which would be the Eastern Seaboard from Maine to Virginia. And I did that for the first 9 years. I was the head of that region for 8 years. And then since then, I've been an administrative assistant department coordinator.
So I can't wait to ask you these questions. Everyone wants to climb a corporate ladder, but what and why made you change your management position to a secretary position? It needs a great courage. So why?
Well, I guess the best answer is that I'm not like most people, but I thought I was like most people. And my parents, I come from a very disciplined family. My parents were both Marines, United States Marines, my mother and father both in the Second World War. And I went through 12 years of Catholic education. So I'm all about discipline. I'm all about getting the job done. I'm all about trying my best.
Yeah.
So whatever was given to me in my path of life as a task, I would try my best to accomplish it. And because of that, I've had a lot of success and luck at things that I try because I give it all my effort. But sometimes that can backfire.
Yep.
And that can backfire when you don't realize that you have enough on your plate and you can't accept anymore. And when I got the position as a supervisor in the follow-up department, I was good at what I did, and the upper management was very happy with my performance. I had a very good team that wanted to work with me. People would compete to get onto my team. So it was good, and it was hard work. But when I started for this company, we were less than 100 people. Now we're almost 800 people.
Wow.
So you can see in 17 years how this company has grown.
That's right.
And I just kept taking on more clients in more states, and I had surrendered all of my free time. I was working 12 hours a day, and I was working sometimes on weekends because I made a commitment that I was going to live up to what they needed, and no matter what it cost me, I did that. Now, another person with a different management skill might have been able to accomplish that in less time. That was not for me. I needed to put in the amount of time I did to be the level of success that I attained. So when I was just so worn out that I put the challenge to God to find a better way for me because I was too tired to look myself.
Okay.
And I just said, you have to help me because I can't do this anymore. And my whole life was just strained by it. So the next day when I went to work, I had determined that I was just going to resign because I didn't know what else to do. And I was preparing for a meeting, and I saw this little email bubble go across the screen that said there was a position open in the company, and I opened it up, and it said there was a secretarial job open. And so I decided it was something to be afraid of because it was stepping backwards, but I just decided that I'd had experiences as a secretary early in my career. I worked in a department store, and I was an executive secretary to one of the senior vice presidents for 5 years. And I knew what it felt like to be somebody's right arm, to be behind the scenes, to be the person that makes the important person ready. And I so much more appreciated that position because my personality leans more towards helping. It doesn't mean I can't lead. I can, but I don't prefer it. I would rather be the person, I'd rather be the helper than the one at the front of the scene. So I went to my boss, and it was a cut in salary too, but my husband and I have been very diligent to live within our means. We don't spend money we don't have. We have a modest house. We each have a very economical car. So I could sustain a pay cut more easily than someone whose circumstances would not allow that. And I just knew, and my husband was with me. He knew that money wasn't everything, that I had to be happy. So I went to my boss and I told him I wanted to be a secretary.
Okay.
And he told me I was crazy.
Okay. Yes, you are.
But that was okay because I knew I had experience and I knew I could do it. So I followed through on my plan, and I've been administrative assistant, technical coordinator now for 7 years, and it's just the best thing I ever did.
Yeah. So where did you get the courage?
Where did I get the courage? Well, the courage came from a couple places. The courage came from the fact that I knew I could sustain a pay cut because our overhead was lower than average. We didn't spend every dime we made. I also knew that, I also knew that I liked the position. It wasn't that I was going into it blind. I had already had experience as an executive secretary, so it wasn't something foreign to me. I knew what I was getting into. And the third place I got my courage from was thinking about what was really scaring me. And one of the biggest pieces of what scared me was that I was afraid of what people would think, that I was lazy or crazy or one of those words that didn't really describe what I was. I was just worn out.
Yep.
And my dad told me once that what other people think of you is none of your business, so never let it get in the way of what you want to do. And I remembered that, and when I remembered that, that's when I stood up from my desk and went over to my director. I can't do this anymore.
Okay.
I want to be a secretary.
Okay.
That's where I got my courage.
Yeah. So what is the lesson you have learned from your decision?
What lessons have I learned? I have learned that what's right for somebody else is not always right for you. I've learned that living within your means can pay off in a lot of ways because you can afford to do things. You can afford to have the gift of time rather than the gift of cash, which has worked out for me. And I've learned, I always liked to write from when I was a child. And that's what I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to be able to write stories. And I've learned that I have some talent for it. And when I started out writing, I went through 10 years of rejection slips. I could paper the walls with the rejection slips that I have. But since I've taken this job, I've been able to devote so much time to learning the craft that I have actually close to 50 stories published now. So I've learned that climbing the corporate ladder is a wonderful thing if it suits you, but you have to be smart enough to know if it doesn't and take the path that's right for you.
Understand. So how has your personal life changed since you have become an administrative assistant?
My personal life has changed immeasurably because you would be surprised when you're really happy. Better your life gets.
Yes, right. I can feel that now. You're really happy.
My life has gotten so much better, mostly because of the writing and because it's my joy. To write is my joy. And I love many other things. I love to cook. I love crafts. I love to crochet. I love to sew. I love all those types of things that I never had time for. And now the gift of time is the biggest thing that I've been able to enjoy, because all these little hobbies and pastimes that I had that went by the wayside because I did everything for the job, I now enjoy again. So that's how my life has changed.
Wow. So
It's a change.
Okay, what are the lessons for our readers from your story to change their lives?
The lessons that a person should learn to change their life is first to evaluate your life and to see what changes you can make that are within reason, and to learn not to live up to everyone else's expectations, because that can really be stressful and put a strain on you. You can be very good at something and still not want it to be what you want to do. So you need to evaluate what you're doing, determine if you are able to take a different position, and most of all, you have to decide that you're not going to let what other people think of you, because it's none of your business, get in your way and do what's right for you.
Do you have any other special interests?
I do. My family has been involved with an organization by the name of the Little Sisters of the Poor, and they are a group of Catholic religious sisters. They are in 5 continents, in 30 countries. They have 139 homes where they care for the aged poor. They don't care what religion you are. They don't care what race you are. All they care is that you need them, and they will take you in and take care of you. And my family has been involved with this organization since the mid-1960s. My sisters and I used to volunteer, and my older sister joined the religious order, the Little Sisters of the Poor. And the sisters are always grateful for everyone's prayers, and if they can volunteer whatever their time or talent they could spare. They are a begging order. They beg for everything they need. They go to supermarkets and beg for food. They are a very old-fashioned, caring organization, and that's the way I like to help in the world. Any way that I can help them, I like to be able to do that.
Okay. Do you have any regrets?
I do have one regret. And my one regret is that I didn't do this sooner. Because I worked with such wonderful people. This change in my job has nothing to do with the people. I worked with wonderful people. The upper management was wonderful. My staff was wonderful. This was about me just taking on more than I could accomplish within a reasonable amount of time. So I forget the question. What did you ask me?
Do you have any regrets?
Oh, my regret. My regret is that I didn't do it sooner, because when my parents were alive, they have been many years in heaven. When my parents were alive, they only ever saw one story published of mine, and my mother was vigilant to encourage me. And through all the years when I didn't have enough time to devote to it, and I would just get rejection after rejection, she believed in me. She believed in me when I didn't believe in me. And she pushed me and she pushed me. And now I have 50 stories published. And I know that they know that, and they can see that in heaven, but I never got to share that with them. And I regret that I didn't do this sooner, because perhaps I could have been able to show them that I really could write.
Okay. So,
well, that's with me. It's just publishers didn't believe me for a long time.
Okay. All right. So if our readers want to learn more from you, how can they find you?
I have several stories that are available online. So if you Google my name, which is Annmarie, Annmarie, my middle initial is B, and my last name is Tait, Tait, you'll get a lot of hits. If you go to Amazon.com, you can Google, or you can search under stories by and use my name, and it'll list the books and publications that I'm in, and that's a good way to find out what I write about. More about me.
Wow, very interesting interview. Thank you. I think that's all for the interview. All right, thanks for your time. Yep. All right, goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye. My pleasure.
Okay.